Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 34 of Trials of Imagination as we play through the module known as Curse of Strahd. If this is your first time here, we are just a group of friends that like to get together every Tuesday and play some Dungeons and Dragons. As I said, we are currently going through the module known as Curse of Strahd. If you are not familiar with it, it is a gothic horror style campaign filled with vampires, werewolves, and all dark manner of creepy things that go bump in the night. It is a lot of fun. We are pretty much doing a heavy homebrew variant of this. So if you are new to Curse of Strahd, there is plenty of unknown things for you. And if you are familiar with Curse of Strahd, there will be plenty of unknown things for you. So we have plenty of content for both of those parties, regardless of which camp you fall into there. You may notice throughout the stream that we do not answer or interact with chat a whole lot verbally. This is normal. We're not ignoring anything that you're saying. We will try to engage with you as much as possible in chat itself. A lot of us will message there. You just will not hear us verbally respond. It's because we have a short time frame for these episodes, and we try to do it justice by staying on task and staying in character and giving credit to the roleplay whenever people are going back and forth and everything that comes and goes with that. So if you do see us just not saying anything to a comment, that's why. If you see someone new hop in during the middle of the stream and they start asking those questions, if you would just do us a favor, if we don't catch it, if you'll just let them know so everybody has an understanding of what is going on there. Okay, so brief announcements. Obviously, tonight we're not doing the one shot. We talked about that last week a little bit. It got bumped back 1 week, so we'll be continuing on with episode 34 tonight, and then next week we will do the special one shot focused around the character of Elbereth, which is the character that Mist Beckons plays during this campaign right here. So it'll be a special one shot that caters a little more to her backstory before she was involved with anything in the current campaigns. It's going to be pretty cool to get to see some of that. And we'll have some of the other players we have playing different characters that were involved in her past. And Mr. Stormer will be the DM for that particular episode. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of differences, a lot of just fun new content to experience. So look forward to that next week. And it'll be the same time. So 8 p.m. Central Standard Time next Tuesday, which is April something. What is that? April 5th. Yes, April 5th will be when we do the one shot. So in terms of announcements, we have kind of going through the usual that we have. We have a podcast that you can listen to if you do exclamation point podcast, so that if you can't watch these live or YouTube is not a good format for you, we have episodes on Spotify, so you can listen to anything in an audio format there. Occasionally, me or Eshe or some other folks will get together and do just an actual nerd podcast, if you will, talking about D&D stuff or just anything in between, and just kind of just talk off the cuff and just have a good time. So we have some of those episodes on Spotify as well. We also have some specialty podcasts that go into more specific detail surrounding the episodes, but those are available only on the Patreon. So you can do exclamation point Patreon and chat, and it'll give you a link to that. We created that out of a request for viewers that wanted to so graciously give and donate to the channel without a lot of it being taken away, a la when you sub to Twitch, which nothing against that process, but they were just being very kind and wanted to be able to have more of the contributions of their donations go directly to us instead of it getting monetized and taken away by some unknown entity to go who knows where. So that was very kind of them. So we created that as a method to appease that, and as well as giving us an outlet to create things and give some content back to the people that so generously donate constantly for unknown reasons, like the people doing subs in chat right now, who we will not name. We see you. We know you're there. Dang it. So we have that available. We have a merch store. Still, you can do exclamation point merch. We constantly try to do updates and stuff that are thematic with what's going on and inside jokes and different references that we do throughout, and just fun stuff to have memories of these episodes in a different medium. So there's that. There's the Meep shirt, which Mr. Stormer can vouch for because he's got it now. He's got one of the Meep shirts, so he can let you know on a personal level if it's comfortable and what it looks like and everything regarding that. They're super, super cool shirts. I have a couple of them. They're real soft and they're very, very comfortable. I suggest them. They're nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. SJ, can you think of anything that I missed?
No. No.
Cool.
Well, I always feel bad because it's like I take a pause to like try and think about it, and then you're like, "What is with the pause?" And it's like I have to think about it. But no, I don't. I did not come up with anything that you missed. How? Apparently, Dirk wants to know how my day was. My day was pretty good. I had coffee this morning.
Yeah. And then chat wants my Attack on Titan poster. You cannot have it. It is mine.
I don't want it.
Yep. Because she doesn't know good anime. Anyways.
No, that's not true.
That's 100% true. Moving on.
It's not true.
She doesn't know how to spell
argue
anime.
with that all night.
She doesn't know how to spell anime. It's the weirdest thing.
I know how
It's
to
like
spell anime.
It's like this weird tick. Like she can spell like onomatopoeia backwards and blindfolded, but just like spell anime can't do it.
Just weird. Lying about me, guys.
It's this weird crutch.
Anime-anopoeia.
There you go. See, when you do it that way, then it's just like money.
Weird.
That's all the announcements I have. I can't think of anything else, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. So everybody sit back, relax, and let's jump into episode 34 of Curse of Strahd. And we are back. And Elber's cam is still off. So she may have just thrown it in there. Her husband might have thrown it in for her so that she could have that there, which is fine. We will take that. That is better than nothing. Let me get my camera situated because I know I had moved it for something. So we're going to move that.
Better than muffin?
No. Right. All the fun of technical stuff. Moving that around. There we go. That was good.
Nice.
Okay.
Technical.
Yep.
Problems.
Yeah, recently, like when switching through profiles of stuff, because we got the Fallout stream going on Sundays. Whenever I go,
it takes for him to realize he muted himself on Discord.
Well, they could hear me on the stream. So recently, going back and forth between profiles from Sunday, which is our Fallout stream, to this, it's for whatever reason giving OBS a headache, and it's like restructuring settings and stuff, and I don't know why, but I'll have to figure that out at a different time. Anyways, last week on episode 33 of Trials of Imagination, our group continued on in their journey and had a lot of conversations. It was a rather heavy exposition episode that is definitely worth going back and watching. There was a lot of one-on-one conversations between Zyle and Millard, Zyle and Ayla, pretty much Zyle and this person, Zyle and this person, Zyle and this person. He kind of took turns going around the horn. Nadar and Mark were both asleep through the episode, so nothing crazy came about in that realm. They just kind of stayed there. But I just realized I have something else off. I need to figure out how to. I'll get it later. The group just kind of continued on. They followed through Millard having a vision, or vision is probably the best word for how he would describe it, of seeing something that may have not been there. No one else was seeing it, but he was seeing something, and they made their way toward the gate. The group followed him before seeing a interesting event occurred to where he was climbing the sides of the rafters to get up to the gate, and then got thrown off by what seemed like air to them. In his eyes, it was a giant tidal wave that kind of came and washed over him. And when he got up, he was actually spitting out water, although the rest of the group saw no water, which is very intriguing. And then out of that, there was a mysterious figure standing atop of where the gate was, and it hopped down and revealed itself as Tanner, which is a new character played by Mr. Stormer. And the group got to learn a little bit about him and have some interactions there. And then they made their way back to the tavern and had, like we said, some of the one-on-ones. Tanner and Zyle had a lot of information that kind of transpired back and forth between them. And probably the most important thing, if you should go back and experience most of it, but bare minimum, they did note that Tanner also had the tattoo of the marking that Zyle has that Luthrian gave him. So that was something that was kind of revealed within that. And Tanner eventually departed after having a long conversation with Zyle and went away into the dark, rainy night into the distance. We also had Millard and Elberth having some nice one-on-one conversations. It was just kind of a roundabout night of a lot of one-on-ones. And like I don't really want to summarize too much of it because I don't feel like it does too much of it justice. But yeah, so the end of it, they get back to the tavern to go in, and they do notice that Ismark and Irina are comforting guests in the tavern that seem to be stressed because word has reached them about something that's going on at the gate that seems to be some form of, attack or siege or whatever it may be, and something like that. It hasn't really happened, and it hasn't gotten to a level of fear in quite some time, so it seems within reason if they hear about this, it kind of freaks them out a little bit. So Ismark and Irina are just going from person to person, just trying to console them and reassure them that everything is going to be okay. And Ayla gets to talk to Irina for a little bit, and everyone just kind of resituates and ultimately finds themselves finally, after a long bit of episodes, when arriving to Vallaki, found themselves in their beds and achieving a long rest. So if no one already did it, every last one of you got the effects of a long rest. So you can be healed, all your spell slots are back, anything in between like that, everything should be good to go there.
Yes. Dip potato chip.
Yes. All is well that ends well. So the episode ended with everybody going to bed. And that is where we pick up this episode. So, shall we roll? All of you are sleeping.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mark.
Should we roll initiative?
Mark.
I will admit, I did have
What's going
Ravenloft
on?
players roll
Yeah,
he'll tell
initiative
us.
in a long rest.
Mark enjoys a nice, long, uninterrupted rest.
All right.
Nice.
Nothing happens. Nadar. you have the exact same dream that you had previously regarding what happened to your town and everything that went on with that, and it ending at the exact same place of where it did last time, which is getting to see the hooded figure and it not kind of be blurred or cut off this time. Like Nadar does get to actually see who it is. Still doesn't know who it is because Nadar has not met Zeke, but Nadar knows that it looks like if he probably wouldn't think this in his head, but just for a description's sake, it looks like a younger Zyle. But it cuts off there and then kind of goes into either temporarily going into nothingness and blackness before going to some other dream about having some form of drink off at a tavern with a large squirrel the size of a turtle. Don't know.
And we can't forget a dragon turtle in there as well.
Yep. Strange things. Miss Bex, who is not here yet. Okay.
Kind of here.
Kind of here. Okay. You can at least hear me.
Yeah.
So, Elbereth enjoys a nice, uninterrupted long rest. No problems. Go ahead and roll for Richard. Richard has a dream of which we will experience later whenever he arrives.
Did he get a 1?
No.
Then he would die in his sleep.
So,
You got a 1.
Millard has a dream.
I got a 14.
I had a 15.
That means you win.
That means, oh no. Oh no.
That means
When
I
we started
lose.
playing, when did we start playing rollies? I rolled a 12. Dang it!
All the time.
You lose worse.
Ayla
I roll was an 18. I'll know what you got.
Ayla also has a dream. Much like Nadar, it is a revisit of the day that happened to Ayla's father. Although this time it's not from the experiencing it again perspective. It's from kind of standing there on the sidelines and watching your younger self go through this. But you notice something during it that kind of catches you a little off guard. And you notice a Idris standing not too far away from you. It's also just kind of watching and observing, which is new. That has not really occurred in this dream.
Away from younger me or me?
It's away from both of you. He's not standing right next to either of you. He's just off to the side, but he's doing the same thing you're doing of just kind of staring and observing the situation.
Okay.
But he just has never been in this dream before. And we'll give you a brief moment to say something if you would like to.
In the dream? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Okay. So I see Idris. I look between him and my younger self and back to him. Does he look exactly the same as when I knew him, or does he look different?
Exactly the same.
Okay. I cock my head and just kind of in a quiet tone, but not exactly whispering. Let's go. Idris?
And worth noting, because this is some knowledge you would have at this point of your life, you having known Idris, you know that he would not have been like that at this point of his life either, because he was not metal at that point in time. So this is like kind of a weird state, but he's Idris as you knew him, as opposed to what he would have been in that exact timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And he just
so
looks.
He doesn't move.
He doesn't look at you. He just continues to watch, but he does respond. Where am I?
I look back at my younger self and back to him and say, I believe we're in a dream.
I do not remember what dreams are like.
Well, I believe this is my dream, so I don't know how you got here.
This dream is sad.
Probably my saddest memory, yes.
Why would you continue to relive your saddest memory?
Well, you just, dreams aren't necessarily a choice. They just kind of happen.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah. It seems that in Barovia, the dreams tend to be a lot more realistic and always on the sadder side as well.
Why
Have
do
you
you...
been to other people's dreams?
I don't think so. How do I know I'm dreaming?
Well, I don't know if you're dreaming or if somehow your consciousness is just coming into my dream, or maybe I'm just making up this conversation. It's not really you, it's just my own brain.
It seems the more likely of the two.
Oh, I know.
I seem to recall that I am deceased.
Yes. Well, maybe if you can answer a question that I don't know the answer to.
If our theory is true, that is unlikely, but I may try.
Right. So, when you were alive, you were helping Zyle. And since you've been deceased, things have been getting worse for him. Can you tell me exactly how you were helping him?
I only can remember pieces. As if parts of the puzzle is missing. Perhaps I am Idris, but only as you understood Idris.
Maybe.
But what I do recall is Zyle was very broken. More so than he would reveal. He had nightmares. And a lot of bad ones. So, the piece I can't remember is the how, but I know I put a barrier to help filter out some of the bad. As a side effect, he would not really dream at all, unfortunately.
Oh, Barovia, that's not necessarily unfortunately. I'd count that as a blessing.
Why do you think I'm here?
Comfort? Encouragement? I don't know. I wish you were actually here. Tell you that much. Everything's weird. Everyone knows now.
I think you are unconsciously trying to figure out how to help Zyle because he keeps seeing me, doesn't he?
Yes.
I don't understand how I am aware of this information, but it
I'm not.
feels to be true.
Yeah. Well, do you know how I could help him?
Help is a very broad construct and difficult to define, but I don't know what Zyle's current situation is, but I seem to remember, perhaps your memory, that the barrier is now broken. Is that correct?
Sounds about right.
If that is true, then he will need help in the form of every ounce of support you can muster.
Well, he has that.
Good. He will need it. I fear
Is there
things
any-
will only get worse. I don't know how to explain it. Again, it might be your memory or perhaps intuition or maybe even fear. But I feel like something bad is coming.
Sounds about right.
And at this point, Idris kind of has a puzzled look as he looks down and sees this black goop starting to like wrap around his legs. And slowly starts ascending up his body.
Idris?
What is happening?
I'm not sure.
He just kind of continues to look and try to assess whatever's going on as it makes its way all the way up to his torso now. And then it's like slowly surrounding him to where you can't even see the form of his body. It's just like this massive goop cocoon just kind of like slowly covering him to where now all that's left is his head, and he just kind of finally looks more at you and focuses and just says one last thing to you. Ayla? And he waits for her reply.
Yeah.
Don't let the darkness consume him.
I won't.
It covers him, and as soon as it covers his entire body, you actually see it like lift up, and then like a liquid disperse and like seeps into the ground, but nothing remains. And then this is the point where you look back and your old dream is still going on, and your younger self has found the coin at this point on your father's body.
Mm-hmm.
And your dream fades into black and continues on throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Millard. Your turn.
All right.
You wake up smack dab in the middle of some dream. Very, very unfamiliar to you. In a place you feel like none of you have really been before. It is kind of like a desolate jungle area with a large scaling up, ascending pyramid-looking ruins of sort, with a large staircase leading all the way up to the top. Torches on either side leading the way. The torch being in a dark red flame. The ground around you is covered in dark, twisted roots of different trees and vines that are above ground and going back in and coming throughout the landscape. There's a dark wind on the air. Yet, everything is eerily quiet.
Slowly walk towards the structure.
As you get closer, you can see with your passive perception now, there's a lot of movement happening on the structure. Not in the sense of people, just your peripheral is catching different things of movements. Almost like, I guess your first instinct might be small animals or bugs or large bugs.
I continue walking towards the structure, making it to the base of the steps.
As you get that close, you begin to have a much better vision of what that is, and it's not animals nor is it bugs. It seems to be a lot of different splotches of black goop that are moving. And at the top, very top of the pyramid-style ruin, you can see your brother. That these pieces of goop have pretty much all but covered, with really only but his face being left revealed.
Is there a torch that I can grab within reach?
When you get close enough, you see that the red flames that are lining the way are torches that are kind of stuck in little metal containers.
I'm gonna grab the one from the right.
Yep.
So, gonna have it and hold it up.
Okay. You can now, what was a pretty dark forest now, at least in your immediate proximity, seems a little more illuminated.
Gonna approach the kind of the black goop on my right, because you said that the structure is kind of covered in it, right?
Yes, all over the
And
place.
I kind of push the torch towards it.
You push the flame towards it, and you hear like a sizzle sound almost. Not a hiss, but more like a sizzle that comes from it. You see bubbles kind of emanate from the goo as it quickly scurries away from the flame.
What is this stuff? What's going on here? I kind of further push the torch into it, like more forcefully.
Mm-hmm. So you push it into it, you hear that same sound of the hiss, and you see it beginning to bubble, and then it goes so much that it evaporates and kind of like starts to lift up in more of a gas and smoke format. Before, as it lifts up, you see it start to like draw lines to each other, and it starts to, and it forms right back into the goop before falling down into a different location. And it starts moving again.
So I turn to my brother, who's like on the stairs, I guess, or whatever. What's going on here? Darren, tell me, what's going on?
You just hear like a very, very weak and raspy voice. Help.
I rush up the stairs, holding the torch out in front of me, getting ready to press it against him when I reach the top.
Climbing the stairs, you do hear some form of sound behind you, much like the sound you heard of the movement of those things, whatever they may be. Do you continue on, or do you take a look behind you?
I keep going, sprinting relentlessly.
You reach the top.
I hesitate for a second as I reach the top. I hold the torch in my hand, and then I quickly try to push it to his chest.
Okay.
Or where I imagine his chest to be. All this
Yeah,
goop stuff.
The second you do that, it immediately like constricts really, really, really tight and starts to make the sizzle sound, and you just see your brother tense up, and you hear a cracking.
Dylan!
And he like looks like he's being held so tight that he can't even breathe or speak. And you hear the sizzle sound get louder and louder and louder, and parts of it start to turn into gas form, but instead of going up now, it starts going straight into Dallin's mouth.
I throw the torch down to my right. With my bare hands, I start like clawing at the goop stuff and trying to tear it off of him. Hold on, Talon. I won't let this happen. Hold on.
And you successfully start pulling some of it off, and it's starting to, try to repair itself or expand as you take pieces off, and you just like throwing it to the side as you pull them off. Are you throwing them to the side, or what are you doing with the... Okay.
Just ripping at it as much as I can to get it off.
Ripping, and then you notice when you go to throw one piece, it doesn't let go, and it kind of wraps around your hand and holds on, and you feel it squeezing very tightly onto your hand.
I try to shake it off, kind of aggressively, but then I just turn back to my brother, keep trying to rip at it, like even with my impaired hand.
Mm-hmm. The one on your right hand is now like, it has a really good grip of your hand to where you can't even really open two of your fingers. So you have kind of like half of your hand open and the other one's like kind of squeezed shut. And you notice now one is gripped onto your foot and is scaling your leg. And occasionally, as you try to rip off into your left arm, other pieces are jumping from him to you and are covering.
In shock, I take a step back and I trip and I start to fall back down towards the stairs or downstairs.
In your fall, you've knocked some of them off of you, but halfway down the stairs, you land on something that feels not like stairs. And then when you look, when you started to ascend, they had just made a wall halfway up the stairs, and now this giant wall of goop is made of a whole bunch of little things. They're just right there, and you're leaning against them, and you have only but a moment to look up before they all just all come straight down on you. And you can't see anything. You can't about hear anything other than just the sound of slime and moving sounds. And it feels like you're being smothered. And then you just hear in the faint distance the sound of your brother's voice. Millard. Run. But you're already covered with everything, and everything goes to black. And that is the last cognizant moment you have of your dream before it either continues on or you start dreaming of other things or whatever it may be. Mr. Richard.
Good evening.
Of the few that had a dream, Mr. Zyle was next on the list. So, Zyle wakes up in the middle of a dream in a familiar spot that is the bridge of what he's been on, the broken bridge. Only this time, it's not blood below, and it's covered in snow and frozen, and it's snowing. Most of the river is like a mix of slush and ice, but it's still moving, so it's technically a flowing river, but you can tell it's extremely cold. And around you, there's several things to take in, but standing right next to you is a dark hooded figure, of which you can see no face. To your extremes, much like you've had in a previous dream, you see Idris off to the side, kind of slowly being taken by the goop like you saw last time, only it's reverted because last time it ended with him being taken, but it's like it's happening again and you see it. But then additionally this time, off to where the bridge is broken and there's a section where it drops off into the river, is Zeke staring down with his feet halfway off the edge of it, very, very close to falling in. And that is your assessment of the situation. You may have an initial response.
Can I see any features at all under this hood?
Blackness. Like a void.
Zyle will look into the hood like as if he's trying to look at the face.
Mm-hmm.
And say, how original. And then he's going to run over to where Idris is.
Okay.
Can
When
you
you-
make this gap? Oh, sorry.
When you turn, so you face the hooded figure to look into it, give it its comment, hey, how original. When you turn to face towards Idris, you turn and as if just blinking, the hooded figure's in front of you. And you can look back and he's not where he was. He's just right in front of you, but you didn't see a transition. He's just there.
I'll ask politely for you to move.
I cannot.
He's going to shove it.
When you shove it, it does fall back, but so do you. And you mimic each other. You both fall back in the exact same way.
Interesting.
As you regain yourself of falling back, if you look at the individual, it gathers itself like looking in a mirror the exact same way that you do.
He's going to take a step towards Zeke and see what happens.
Similar effect, the same when you, because you would have to turn to look towards Zeke, and when you do, the hooded figure's right there immediately. It just stares at you.
If he tries to walk forward, does it walk into him or the same direction as him?
If you try to walk forwards,
Mm-hmm.
so you try to walk towards it, and
Towards it, yes.
yeah, it looks down and then takes its hood off, and you see you. Mirror image, no difference. You.
So no different hair color or no, just exactly the same.
Verbatim. Yeah, the last time you looked in a mirror.
Well, this is convenient. You can go to one and I can go to the other.
I wish it were that simple. This is what becomes of us.
You mean I'm at an impasse because you just stand in the way?
I do nothing. I am you. If I am in the way, you are in your own way. The question is why? We've already lost Idris. But we lose our brother too. Because we are unwilling to do what is necessary.
And just what do you think is necessary in your wisdom?
And he actually takes a step now, as if you've been watching it be a mirror image of everything you do for so long that now it's a little odd, because he actually moves without being tied to you and turns to look towards Zeke and just does kind of like a 1,000-yard stare.
Zeke is walking a complicated path now. And you will have a choice before the end. I think you already know what it is.
He turns back to face you.
You will have to decide between saving your brother, our brother, or saving your friends.
All this time, all these years, all this death and all these choices. Why couldn't it have been us on the pyre for once?
We will have our time, as all do. Perhaps part of our punishment is to be the one that's behind to witness it all continue.
They don't tell you about that when you sign the forms to become a soldier.
They don't prepare you for one of your friends killing your best friends either. Yet here we are.
Here we are.
If you don't want your friends to face the same fate, similar to that of Teft, You'll need to prepare yourself for the choice that will be made.
He's kind of like looks up towards the snow.
I fear it is soon.
I fear that you're right.
I do not blame you for any choice that is made. Whatever may happen of us, perhaps we deserved it.
Oh, I'm sure that we do.
And now the shadow kind of takes a step sidewards to get out of the way.
There's little time.
Go ahead.
He's going to attempt to walk over next to Zeke here.
This time you can do it unhindered.
Does he respond in any way, or is he just staring?
Just staring down, kind of swaying back and forth, very uncomfortably, close halfway off the ledge.
What are you doing, lad?
Just kind of like gives a side smirk. Can you see it, Zyle? Can you see the end?
I've seen it for a long time, Zeke. Never seems to get any closer.
I take one more step. And succumb to these waters. Everything will be okay.
Will it, though? The pain doesn't go away, it just redistributes to others.
You kind of see like a tear go down his cheek. I've distributed enough pain to others.
Zyle's gonna sit down there at that broken part and kind of hang his feet on the ledge and try to coax him into doing the same.
Doesn't seem to make any motion to what you're doing. He just kind of stays the same.
Kind of props an arm on his knee. No, all this time. After Mother, I tried to pretend I had the moral high ground. Claiming what you did defiled whatever principles I had, but here in this place where we're left with nothing really but ourselves to look at, You've distributed no more pain than I have to anyone else. I just chose to do it in a way that I found to be acceptable. It's no less right.
You know, I really tried to get her back. And I know you didn't agree with it. But I didn't care. Just wanted my mom back.
After all these years, I think I can finally say I don't blame you.
And there's a little shoulder stretch. It matters not. I'll be
Remember
over
the
soon.
pie, Zeke. He kind of interrupts him.
He just looks up and gives a little bit of a side smirk. I wish I did. I remember the moment. I don't remember the feel. I don't remember the taste.
I think if you dig deep enough, you might. I don't know how deep others' talons are dug into you, but you can always pull the thorn out. It may be painful, but it can always be removed.
Kind of turns to actually look at you. And what, pray tell, do you do when a thorn grows like a weed? It festers, it consumes you.
And then you become a cranky old fool like me.
Sounds like a miserable life.
Do you know me?
Sadly.
In spite of all that, there is warmth in my life.
But not in
You've
mine.
met most of it.
I'm tired, though.
I'm tired too, Zeke. Sometimes I think about just going back to the old homestead and trying to eke out a quiet living there.
Most of my life, has been spent trying to bring someone back. And I have yet to achieve that goal. But soon. Soon it'll all be over.
Maybe it's time to take stock and look who's around you, Zeke. Now.
See, that's the difference in you and me, brother. You look around right now and somehow you see light. Somehow you see hope. I just see the people I've hurt the most. He takes a good look at you and kind of straightens up his shoulders. And she puts a firm grasp on your right shoulder. Gives you something you haven't seen in a long, long time, which is a smile. Save your friends. He lets go and pushes off on you and uses that force to push himself off the ledge. And falls down, and it may not look in on the map, but it's a rather steep fall. And he doesn't bother trying to regain himself. He goes back first into the water. And disappears into the very darkness of the water. And the shadow figure, if you turn up to look, is now staring over it. Idris, that is now fully covered and the lights dimmed like it was at the end of the last stream.
So I was going to attempt to move over where Idris is.
Yeah. You can get all the way to the chasm.
He's going to look over. So he's completely covered, face and all.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to say, Aegis friend, thank you for everything. I been so caught up about you and your loss, and starting to sound like old Zeke here. It's nothing personal, but you're gone, friend, but the rest of them aren't. So I'm going to see if I can't go back and do what I can about that to make sure it stays that way. Maybe I'm learning to let go a little bit after all. Isn't that what you wanted?
You see the hooded figure kind of stand up beside you in your peripheral.
Don't become me.
He kind of looks over and is like, hey, you're far too ugly.
Inside and out.
He's
Fate
gonna
has,
turn a. Oh, sorry.
fate has said that we are doomed to this fate. There is nothing that can be done to avoid what you've just witnessed here.
He turns to look at you.
As you've said it before in your past life, screw fate.
Maybe you are me after all.
I can't promise there is a way. But don't give up.
He kind of smirks.
It's going to test you. Maybe even break you. But don't give up.
He nods.
Storm is coming. Not here. But for you. For your friends. For the town of Valaki. And it is coming soon.
Then we best get to preparing, huh?
Prepare as much as you will. Also prepare to be broken. Not only you, but all of them. They're going to need you. As you will need them.
The job of commander, right?
I sincerely hope this is the last time we speak with each other.
Me too.
He actually turns and looks.
Goodbye, Idris. Perhaps
So
I'll,
will also turn. Oh, sorry.
perhaps I'll see you soon.
He turns around
He
and
turns to Aegis
walk
as
away.
well,
Good.
and he just like a tear runs down his cheek. He says, "Goodbye, old friend, and thank you for everything."
You see everything kind of fade into black. And you either have other dreams or have no remaining dreams for the rest of the night. And then, one by one, all of you wake up from your nights. Mark and Nadar being some of the earliest to wake up. Then one by one, each of the group waking up as well. Nadar and Mark could have a chance to be in the tavern before the rest of you wake up if they wish.
Nadar will.
I got my spell book to study.
Okay.
Nadar will be in the tavern, but he's just gonna be sitting at a table. He's not really in the mood to drink after what was his dreams the night before.
Okay. So, one at a time. Bex, that's you first. So, Elbreth, can wake up. Do you want to do anything? I can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh, is this Discord set up to use your mic?
There you go.
There we go.
Well,
It worked for a second.
I heard a
Yeah.
but then that was all I got.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting sound
Oh,
feedback or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're only hearing the feedback when you physically touch the mic.
that's all we hear.
Hmm.
This should
Hey,
All right.
We heard you for a second.
for a second.
There.
Yeah, go downstairs.
you go downstairs, and the only familiar face you see is Nadar.
Goes back upstairs. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it's not out of the cards that it might happen. Hi.
Yeah.
You
I
go to
shouldn't
sit.
have had that bedtime beer.
Or the for bedtime, the post.
You're cutting in and out. Oh.
I wonder if it's a Discord sensitivity setting.
It
Might be a noise gate.
Yeah. It's what they just. You can you have it set to detect your voice or noise gate it. And
Or
I
push
have-
to talk.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
means.
I heard you
Yeah.
that time.
Alright.
There we go.
Say or the before bedtime beer, or the post dinner beer, or the post dinner beer, or the post dinner beer.
No, all those other beer were needed. Did I do anything against the thing we don't talk about?
Sorry, can you say that again? Did I do anything about?
Did I? Did I was like pointing at himself? Did I do anything against the thing we don't talk about?
Did he? No.
Yes.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't remember.
He jumped down and tried to run at the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you might not have been there for that session.
I listened to it though, but that was like a
Yeah.
long time ago.
I know.
He did it. He got in between you guys and then ran in front of the dragon and said a name that he's coming to see soon.
Yeah. Can we not talk about it?
You're the one that asked, but yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
I was making sure we would be on the same page when I asked not to talk about it.
Okay.
Whatever. You know what sounds tasty? A book.
I suppose that is better than rocks.
Miller, do you wake up?
Rocks are also tasty.
I'll
Sometimes
walk
they taste like
downstairs.
chocolate.
You do walk downstairs?
Do you think that perhaps your people don't? Actually, I don't remember how long.
You see Elbreth and Nadar conversing.
Do
Or
you think
attempting
perhaps
to
you
converse.
guys you live as long as elves if you didn't eat rocks?
No,
Is any of the
we're
wait
much
staff
smarter than
around?
elves.
Any of the, like the bartender people?
It's
and in the
light.
tavern.
It's light staff because it's early in the morning. As such, there's not as near as many people in the tavern as there were at night. But there's one person at the bar.
I'll walk up to anybody who looks like they could get me some food.
Okay.
Oi, you got anything for breakfast? I'm starving.
Yes, we have quite a few options, I suppose. We have some fresh egg, straight from the large, if I'm to be honest, unidentified bird out the back. But the eggs are pretty big, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Giant George.
And then we have
George is a boy. He can't lay eggs.
we have some fresh water that we put a few type of leaves in for some accent. It's a good morning drink. And then we have a little bit of leftover pork slices from last night that we salted and preserved to carry over into the morning.
I'll take whatever you got, man. I'm not picky. Just bring it over to me, mates over there, and I'll settle it later.
You want?
And then I walk away.
No, okay.
So that's why chocolate rocks are the best rocks, and we have to try every single rock. Just to make sure we're not missing out on chocolate rocks.
What are you talking about, Nadar?
Huh?
It's too early in the morning. Or it's too late, or whatever.
It turns out that we can prevent him from eating chocolate rocks, perhaps by having chocolate rocks on hand.
That's just dandy, isn't it?
Me, I'm probably still gonna eat rocks if you do that, just to make sure I'm not missing out on any. But I don't know. I gotta test them all, you know?
He's serious this time, isn't he? Right? Okay.
I think so. He's probably just trying to keep his mind off of yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Is that how you wake up?
I mean, I'm convinced this place is just out to kill us. I'm surprised we didn't die in our sleeps. I've never been... I mean, we've been to a lot of hostile places. We fought a good amount of people that are trying to kill us. But things we don't speak about and other such things, ghouls, goblins, undead, you know, they've just never all hit us at the same time. It's exhausting.
At this point, a older gentleman at a table next to you is getting up and seems to just be walking towards the bar to either get a refill or put down his cup, and kind of looks and spots you and stops at all of you. Pardon, I don't mean to intrude. Are you the new adventurers that kind of fortified the gate last night?
We
Our
did what
renown has
now?
already spread, I say with
Nadar's-
sarcasm.
And Nadar looks very uncomfortable about this already.
He just nods to Millard's comment. My sincerest gratitude to you all. It was very kind of you to be newcomers here. I will. Have you ordered anything from the bar?
That's just a quick breakfast. Hoping to stomach something before we're off. Right, Elbereth?
Right. Say no more.
Food. I should get some food.
Your tab for the morning is on me.
Oh,
Much
thank
appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
That's the first good thing we've heard since we've been here.
And sincerely, thank you for what you did. We don't get a lot of that. Yeah. Enjoy your meal. And he walks towards the bar.
You hear that? They don't get a lot of good things happening here. I think this just further reinforces my comments yesterday that we should be off as soon as the rest of our companions are awake.
To the next town that doesn't get a lot of good things.
I mean,
When,
go on, Nadar. Whatever you have to say is probably better.
why don't we protect these people and maybe we can make get more free food out of it?
I think we need to review what our goals are here. It's actually not for free food, it's to go home. You may have forgotten.
I'm okay staying here.
You remember lots of people give us free food at home too, whenever we save their towns.
Right, and they also give free alcohol.
Yeah, and we haven't got any of that, now have we?
You're right.
Nadar, we've already seen things here that we don't talk about. And you want to stay where there might be things that we don't talk about.
There's things we don't talk about back home, though.
Right, but we
Not
don't
like
see
that
them as often as the things we've seen here.
And I don't remember one like that one.
Well, that too. I mean,
That one did look... We don't talk about it.
Zal, you will, if you want to come downstairs, you'll be there by now.
Yes. I just didn't want to interrupt the flow.
Sure. And
there
then,
we go. Someone with reason, or at least who I can speak reasonably to. Zyle, get over here.
And then Mark will also follow shortly after, having studied his book sufficiently enough.
He'll sit down at the table.
Could you please explain to Nadar here why we might not want to stay in this area? Or at least find somewhere more amenable. Though I wouldn't use the word amenable to Nadar. Not sure he'll quite understand that one.
Is it really that useful, though? It seems like trouble's going to follow us wherever we go.
I mean, it feels like the worse. The more we go into this country, or at least the deeper we go, closer to the Count's castle, Strahd or whatever, the worse things get.
Oh, good morning.
Morning, Mark. Good to see you're doing well.
Yeah.
You feeling alright? You know.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
No thanks to...
I'm just a little bit hungry.
Right. We should be getting food soon.
How much are the meals?
Oh, a gent here said he'd cover us. Hopefully, that all works out.
That's some pleasant news.
First good news we've had in this town.
And then
Besides...
a waiter's going to come at this point and like set a large plate that has far more than what even the full party is going to need of eggs, glasses of water, some cups of coffee, and some of the sliced pork that looks like whatever they had left. This seems to be the best of it. That they've come
Nadar's just
put down for
staring.
me.
Nadar's staring very intensely into Zyle's face.
Anyway, food's here. Let's get something out of bellies. I plan to leave. At least I think it's the best plan, Zyle. And then I start digging in.
And the waiter, before they leave, after setting her down, sorry to intrude. I just wanted to say thank all of you for last night. You were most welcome here. Thank you. And she walks off.
Nidar mindlessly also then grabs some meat and starts eating it while just not breaking eye contact with Zyle's face. Whether or not he's looking back at Nidar, it doesn't matter.
Zyle will look at it and say, Nadar, you're staring at me like a full tankard of beer. What's up, lad?
I think I saw you in my dream, but it didn't look exactly like you.
As long as you weren't bludgeoning me to death.
Yeah, really, we got to talk about that.
Hmm?
This is the second time you've swung at one of us.
I didn't just swing at him.
No, not then. Back of the gate.
Yeah, you swung at me 2 times.
You destroyed my beer.
He has a
Yeah,
That is true.
Not saying he's right, but I do understand.
Look, the point is, Mark is part of a crew. He's part of the team. You can't just go hitting him with the ring like that.
part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew.
But he would do the same. He does the same thing to me all the time.
Right, but he hits a lot less harder than you. If he hits you, you might get like a weak bruise or something. If you hit him, he's knocked out for 2 days.
I don't see the problem with that. It just proves that,
I don't-
I'm stronger than him.
I got nothing, Zaya.
I've got nothing as well.
we can't be fighting against each other. We need to work together.
It doesn't get
You
any
leave-
simpler than that.
If you leave my ale alone, I agree.
Speaking of which, working together. Who's gonna wake up Ayla?
Nidar
let her
proceeds
wake
to
up
go
on her own.
upstairs. Nidar goes upstairs to wake up Ayla.
Problem solved. Or escalated. Whatever you think.
Well,
Okay. All right.
Question is, did she lock the door behind her when she went to bed?
Well, I was sharing a room with somebody, so whoever left that room that morning.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's open.
Okay. I just go and stare, and then I'm like, "Oh wait, how am I gonna do this?" I say that out loud into the room.
Okay. Proceed.
Closer you to Ayla when you say it.
Maybe like 10 feet away.
Okay.
I will walk up and slap. I know it's not smart, but it's the dark.
Ayla, make
Like
a.
even the Dartho would know.
Can I just? Do I have to roll? Can I just do monk stuff?
I'm not against just monk stuff happening.
Nate,
Alright.
roll a so a Constitution save with advantage.
It's like I'm not intending to harm. It's just I didn't bring any ale. I don't know how else to try and wake her up. It's either going to be
Is it a saving throw? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Or just okay? All right. So with advantage, that's 18.
Yeah, you're awake.
I'm awake.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
that
I
woke.
was
Oh, that
gonna
woke you up
say-
good.
I was gonna say, she dodges it, in her sleep.
I'm
I
not
just
gonna-
want to do monk stuff for the fun of it. Okay.
I gotta
she
give.
dodges it, grabs her staff, puts it behind him, grabs it, flips him onto his back, and then so she's on top of him, and it's just like, wow, and it's like, oh, Nadar, what are you doing in my room?
Waking you up. Everyone else is downstairs.
Ah, did I hurt you?
I don't think so.
Okay. That is a first. I get off of him. And then I help him up.
As she turns her back, I roll my... The Dar rolls his shoulder.
Okay. You do,
And just like
and
rubs it.
to counter your lovely grace that you have when you stand up and go to turn around, you did just wake up, so you pretty much spent all of your finesse in your move there, and now you just ungracefully slip and fall
Sounds about right.
by just turning. Just
As she falls, it's gonna be like right behind her still.
yep, you land
I
on
hate
Nadar.
mornings.
Well, that was a fun way to wake up. I needed something different today.
All
That
right.
literally hits different.
Well, while you are awake, I could slap you a bit.
I'll take it. I didn't know how else to wake you up, because I didn't bring in any beer.
I don't like your beer.
I didn't bring any alcohol.
I'm not the biggest fan of alcohol in general, but I get up. All right. I like stretch out. Okay. Is everybody up, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Oh. All right. I guess I shall go meet everybody.
Nadar trots along behind her. Like, yep.
And at the coming out into the hallway, you have a gentleman walking into his room, kind of spots you. Like, oh, forgive me for presumptions, but you a dwarf and elf, I think. I was told that there was a flamboyant group of variety that saved our town last night, and it seems like that would probably fit the bill. So if, pardon if I am mistaken, but if this were you, sincerely, thank you for what you did last night.
At the mention of him saying, assuming I'm an elf, I check my hood to make sure it's actually pulled up all the way.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And he notices you do that. I was like, apologies, I meant no offense by the notion. I'm actually fascinated by elves.
Where I'm from, it's habit for me now to have my hood up. I'm not offended.
Okay.
You ask me, dwarves are way cooler.
They're a lot drunker.
Fair enough. They are from the mountainous terrain, so I think that seems to check out. All right. Well, I will proceed to the room. Thank you very much for what you did last night. He walks on past you.
Give him a slap on the back. A light slap on the back. I just specify.
Even light for him.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt you.
Nadar,
I keep
hungry old
walking and
man.
then check my hood again.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's not gonna be fine.
I'll
later.
help him up and I'll help him go where he wants to go. I'll
I
be
go
nice
downstairs.
today.
He's fine. He's just like, oof. It's gonna hurt later. He's
This
just
is
going.
true. That 17 in strength does
Yep.
not mean light slaps.
Yep. He's just going to his room. So you two can make it downstairs with the rest of the group that is conversing.
Good morning.
Well, that plan worked out.
Yep. And I
What
only got
plan?
like one bruise.
Nothing.
I thought you said you did not get hurt.
Did I? Oh, right. I didn't. doesn't mean I might have got a bruise from last night, honestly. I don't know.
So,
I find a seat and I look
back
at
to the
spread.
plan. Do we all agree we should go back to the church and figure out where Henrik was?
You wanted to skip town earlier.
Right, but Zyle reminded me that I agreed we should find Henrik. The last place I saw him was at the church, so I figured the priest there would have the best information on where he went.
But
It
don't
still
we
gets
have
us
to
out
go
of the
to
town.
church anyways, to check on Zyrel's friend.
You can do it.
I know what it is. I was
Dennis!
Lutheran.
Hey, good job.
I knew what it was. I was just playing. I was doing the bit anyway.
I encouraged you the whole time. I said you can do it.
I
I was-
already knew what the name was, though. I chose to say Zyle's friend.
I chose to
sa-
say Dennis.
What's his name?
Denise.
Dennis Lutheran.
Thought it was
Dennis
Larry.
Pico Lutheran.
It's not Jim.
Nadar,
Yeah.
you had some sort of dream last night, didn't you?
And our is like, So, which way is the church?
Dodge.
And he just not even watching for anyone else coming. He just walks out the building.
Not done eating.
Yeah, breakfast and tea.
You should get some food too, Nadar.
I'm
He
going to
did
go.
eat. He did eat.
I did mindlessly eat one of the pork while just staring intensely at Zyle. Nadar will go basically around the building and just curl up into a little ball.
It's actually Mark's turn, but given what happened last time, I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm gonna sit right here and finish my food because it's most definitely not
hungry.
my turn.
I'm still eating, so.
Fair.
Elbreth slows down.
Zyle puts his thumbs up on the table. I
think
knew
I'm
you would know.
I won't be the only one that probably.
Yeah.
I always lose that game, so I'm decided not to play this time, Zyle.
I put my thumb up.
Hey.
All right,
Rollies!
put my bowl down and plate or whatever, and I'll go.
All three of you, I'm not gonna play. I don't know what it is, and I'm pretty good with these things, but I always lose. Every time.
I'm
So-
looking for Nadar.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
You
do
go-
I sound okay? My headphones died, and so I have to, and my other ones are not connecting. Does this sound okay? No echo?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sounds
he's
right.
Yeah,
sound fine. Yeah, we hear echo every now and then, but it's not bad. So yeah, you walk around the building and it doesn't take long to find him because he's not really trying to hide necessarily. He's just outside the building, just near a wall,
Chewing on
curled
rocks.
into a ball, chewing on rocks.
He doesn't have a rock in his hand.
Oh, nice.
He's just there, like, tears going down his face. They're just kind of rocking back and forth.
And while you
Forget it.
find him, let me ask the rest of the group. After you finish your meal, what is your plan of action?
Go to the church, look for Henrik, right? Is that
Ask
Well,
the
we in
priest where
agreement
Henrik-
there?
Checking on Lutheran.
Ask the
And,
priest
yeah,
where
check on
Henrik
Lutheran.
is, or where he went, and check on Lutheran.
Yeah, it sounds alright.
So, time passes. You can finish up
Wait,
your
who
meal.
won the game?
Yes.
Rollies!
The thumbs up game.
I mean, Elbreth kind of volunteered, so it doesn't really matter.
No.
So, Yeah,
like
so-
to think they were still like there, just still playing the game though.
Yeah, right. Still arguing about it.
Not doing it.
You just like they keep arguing about it as they're exiting the tavern, as if there's still. Okay, so while you guys are exiting, we'll go with Elberth and Nadar. So Elberth, you find Nadar outside. Do you say anything to him?
Forget it.
So,
It didn't happen.
did you have a dream?
Don't talk about it. No. 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 No.
You mentioned Digger again, yes, last night.
No. Nadar just like breaks down and like, I can't. And he just like basically flops over, grabs his head, keeps rocking. He's like, it should have been me. It should have been me. And he just keeps like going like in this like spiral of insanity. Like he's answering your questions, but it's going further down into the spiral.
Nadar, stop. Stop. It doesn't matter what should have been. We're in what is. And there's a lot more going on right now, and we need you to be here and help. You keep staying in the night, but you need to come in the next day. In the dawn, beauty reigns, and the way is clear. We're here.
Hit him with a light bolt.
No, just flap him. Will Smith style.
Nadar seems to regain its composure a little bit and like, I don't want to talk about last night.
You don't have to talk about it yet, but you can't just keep ignoring it.
It didn't happen. If I don't think it happened, it didn't happen.
That's not how things work.
Debate.
At this moment, the rest of the group can be outside and kind of see where Elberth and Nadar are.
Now, I will say, I should probably not go into the church, given what happened last time, and the time before that. So I'll probably wait outside, if that makes sense. Zyle, Mark, Elberth, yeah.
What happened last time? What happened the time before that? Millie?
I just kind of look at Zyle. You know, we don't need to talk about it. It's not very flattering of anyone in that situation. But, I mean, I kind of tried to steal from him last time. And, you know, people are okay with thieves as long as they don't steal from themselves, like from them directly. So I just think I might have broken some things.
Oh,
You understand how it is, Mark.
I see.
So
Yeah.
you guys are going to hear, especially Millard, kind of like a Doppler effect from the distance. Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard, Mr. Millard. And then you just feel like a little child just like wrap around your legs.
I stabbed them. I don't actually.
And you look down, it's the same girl. It's the same girl from last night that did
The one
the
that
same
you
thing.
stabbed.
Yes, the one that
The other one.
the one that he stabbed. And she says, "Morning, Mr. Millard." She's
This
just got
must
a-
be a drink, because I'm never this popular with children.
You're never this popular.
Hi.
That is not true.
That is true. You do have that one fan here. Keeps popping up. Hey, is that her over there?
No.
And you
Look, kid. What can I do for you? And how do you know my name?
the older, or let's say older, the mom-looking figures are now closer to you from the same one you saw a husband and wife last night, as long as the child leaving the tavern. Now you have the mom and the child coming towards the tavern. The mom seems to be in waiter attire, as if she's getting ready to go to work. And she's like, Miss Bree, let's go with Mr. Millard, please. I'm sorry, Mr. Millard. Ismark and Irina kind of told a lot of us of what all of you did last night, and she was asking everyone's names, and then she found you outside last night. She's been talking about you all night long. Apologies, but Miss Bree, Mr. Millard has things he needs to do, so we will go inside, and you can go play in your room while Mama works, okay? And she's just like kind of like looking off as if she was halfway listening.
Alright, we better grab Nadar and get him moving along.
And in the distance, we hear a familiar voice.
All the best wishes to you, ma'am.
Bye, Mr. Millard.
What's your name?
Bree.
Bree. Yeah.
She's just kind of like not rocking back and forth. She's just
Nice
looking at
to
all of
meet
you.
I'm Mark.
That's funny. The other one's name is Ismark.
Yeah.
Bye. She just runs
Yep.
into
I
the tavern.
wave.
Josiah agrees. We should kidnap the kid. Nadar does not agree, but
There are many things Millard will steal.
So
Children are not one of them.
the mom just kind of smiles as the child runs in and looks back at her. Sincerely, thank all of you for last night. So, sorry for my child. She's doesn't have much of a filter. And she just goes to walk into the tavern.
Do any children have much of a filter?
And now, let me think of who would be the close. Zal, roll a perception check.
Yay.
Can do, sir. Ouch. Isn't that one?
Nice.
Focus.
You go to turn around and we're not pay attention to your surroundings at all. There's a beam right there. So you guys just see Zal turn around. Face smack into the beam on the porch.
He just goes, ow.
Like a hit?
Zio,
Yeah,
watch out behind you.
thank you for the warning.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's get going.
Nadar, Ilberith, we're gonna start making our way towards the church.
Millard's gonna wait outside.
I'm gonna wait outside.
I think
Fine.
someone needs to watch him so he doesn't go running off again.
Oh, you're volunteering. Very nice. Usually someone has to volunteer to watch you.
Now, so are you guys like making your way towards the church?
Making our way downtown.
Yeah.
Walking fast.
As you're walking, you're not even far from the tavern at all, really, like still really not but a couple steps off the porch. You hear in the distance, psst. Psst.
Nadar looks over.
You see a fairly short individual, can't be but maybe 5, a little, like right at 5 feet tall. That
I'm
has
looking up at them.
some form of glasses on of what you have never really seen before, because it's like he's wearing glasses, but they're like blackened.
I will walk towards him.
waves at all of you to come over here.
Alright. I come over.
I just stare at him.
I'm going. Nadar does his best battle whisper, aka he yells at them. Get over here! Get over
I
here!
feel like this man's gonna try to sell me a Rolex from a train.
Look at these.
Totally
Want to buy
buy
a
it, too.
sundial?
Sundial.
I don't understand that joke.
It's a legitimate StoneX sundial.
Wait,
So
wait. Do you not understand the reference or what a sundial is?
Oh, sundial, that's what you said.
Want to buy a
Okay.
sundial?
I heard sudile or something like that.
Uh,
So
Want to
all
buy a
of-
pseudo-wudo?
all of you are close enough because he wasn't incredibly far away to hear him talking, and like the ones that are closer can see that it's a pretty younger person. It's hard to tell with the glasses on, but at oldest, you're talking teenage years, probably.
So
And-
evil.
Like
Yes.
13 teenage years or 18 teenage years?
Like 14, 15.
Okay. Cool. So still awkward.
Yes. And he's wearing this just all brown leather type of attire, brown leather pants, and some form of like overcoat type of situation. And just has his arm crossed.
He's gonna
with-
sell us a Rolex.
So
He's just
thinks
looking-
he's cool awkward.
and is
Okay.
looking and is like trying to lean against the wall, occasionally putting a foot up, but then like slipping and like regathering and doing it again. He looks, and now he looks
I
at.
tried
Thinks
it
all
already.
of that.
Doesn't work.
Awkward.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
he looks at all of you and says, like pulls down his glasses just enough where you can see his eyes, and they're just like a dark brown. Oh, you must all be the new adventurer that I've been hearing about.
Yeah, I think
Why
we're
are you
pretty cool.
asking?
No. You were so-
This is somebody I might legitimately stab.
Well,
It
It's
went
not in
over.
broad daylight.
he just kind of looks back and forth.
The kid who's too cool for
School.
school.
No,
He
he's too
just-
school for cool.
He just keeps looking back and forth. Well,
Do you want?
What's
do you need
union
help
for?
or something?
Mark, we can't offer help to every random stranger who asks for it. We have to go to the church.
Okay, you guys go. I'll stay with him.
And we can't leave this innocent man with Nadar.
now they call me. He just kind of looks back and forth. The Count. There's a few things your guys gonna want to know if you have any hope with survival.
I can't take this seriously.
Rule number 1: avoid gravel roads at all costs. They're slippery, and every now and then your foot's gonna get stuck in the side of one, and it's gonna shift around a little bit. And you might roll your ankle, and it friggin' hurts. Number
I've
two-
done that
number two.
before.
Rule number 2: do not, under any circumstances, eat the yellow snow. All the kids are going to tell you it's cool and that everybody's doing it. I assure you, it is not. Don't do it.
Okay.
Wait, but
My
the
fine
other
young
thing
gentleman,
always tastes like lemon.
He just looks for
may I
said.
ask,
Rule number 3: Caleb from 3 blocks down the road in West Velaki is a friggin' liar, and you should not listen to a word he says. He just slanders me at every potential point that he can, and he says stupid things like my favorite game is Ground Rim. Obviously, it's not Ground Rim. My favorite game is First Reality. Get it your facts straight, Caleb. Ugh.
Nadar pulls out one of his hand axes, puts it to this guy's throat.
Are you joking right now? I've known all of that already.
Oh my word. Please tell me that this is Strahd's illegitimate child.
No.
his
Oh,
legitimate
come on.
child.
I don't want this.
No. And
Yeah,
you guys
I'm-
hear in the distance some lady. yell, Peter! Peter, come get inside and do your chores! I'm talking right now, Mom, gosh!
He's also got an axe to his throat right now.
Ah, so your name is
Roger.
Peter.
Put your weapon away.
My name is not Peter, my name is the Count.
I'm pretty sure your mommy over there just called you Peter and you answered.
That's not my mom, that is some weird lady that just keeps talking to me.
Well, then why did you say that you were coming?
It's not important.
Alright, now child, do you actually need something or have anything important to say, or are you just gonna talk gibberish at us? Because we have more important things to do than to talk to you, frankly.
Put the axe away.
He just... He like goes to respond, and now you hear like the woman raise her voice a little bit. Peter Parker, you get in here right now and finish your chores. Gosh dang it, Mom.
Quick question, Count.
Fine.
Can you climb on walls?
Nadar on the back of the head.
Only when those are not looking at me.
Nadar proceeds to turn around and look away.
He like slaps the wall to make wall sounds. Fine. I didn't want to talk to the mean elf lady anyways.
Okay.
Have fun on your adventure, both those. Not you, lady. You're mean. And just walks
I call you
off.
Spider-Man.
He just walks off into the distance.
Bye, Peter Parker. Be good for your mommy.
You actually you see him flipping you off as he's walking by.
Oh, that's not very nice.
What just happened?
I don't know, but that was slightly amusing.
We met a real-life superhero.
Oh, shut up.
And
I start walking toward the church.
the second you start to turn around, all of you hear in kind of a raised voice. Then it's far enough, all of you.
Yeah.
And you turn around and see a slew of guards and some very well-dressed gentleman at the front, standing with his hands behind his back. Quite a lot of trouble has started upon your arrival here.
I think it's your fault.
Nadar says it like as he starts to kind of step backwards.
He just looks down at you and kind of like grimaces in more of an angry fashion.
What's the issue?
I am the Baron of Valaki, and we have some things that we need to discuss in great detail about your arrival here.
Okay.
And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
Okay. Man, so you started talking in the Baron's voice, and I was like, why does this voice sound so familiar? And then I realized that it is like within range of a character from the Disney Mickey Mouse Prince and the Pauper. The end.
It was in my mind, it went deeper Peter Parker there.
I don't know if I've seen... It's been a long time since I've seen Prince and the Pauper.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching up until this point. This is where we're going to transition into the post-stream chat. Luckily, it looks like Lava's internet's still going because it has been the past couple weeks, so he might be able to stick around a little longer for the post-stream chat. I know Millard seemed to have to hop off, so we might have missed his answer. But if you can hear Millard, you're welcome to hop back in for your answer. But we're going to go around the horn and talk about our favorite moments of tonight and answer any questions that we have in chat. So if you've been patiently waiting up until this point to actually have anything for us, this is where you can make sure to throw your questions in chat. If it is a question that we can feasibly answer, then we will try to do so. But for starters, we will go around the horn and talk about our favorite moments of tonight. And it should be fun since Lava can actually stick around and we won't make you go first like we always do and give you time to actually think about it. So
Watch him disappear right before his turn.
that would be unfortunate. But
Yeah, so we have to get this done within the next hour.
yeah,
Oh,
that's not
That
a
we
problem.
can do.
Okay,
Perfect.
so leading off, that is Mr. Liam. Mr. Liam, what was a highlight of the night for you, or one of your favorite moments of the night?
There was a lot of funny moments with Nadar. But I also liked the Count. He was funny.
Ugh.
I agree with that. My room's just really hot, so I opening a window.
You mean Peter Parker
Yep. Knocked out 2 submissions and 1 stone.
with one character?
Yeah. Got him to be the Count and Peter Parker. Got both of them done. 2 down.
Yeah.
How many more to go?
A lot. So, okay. Anything else, Liam?
I'd have to stick with that for now.
Fair. Decent answer.
Rewatch this episode.
Sure. All right. That is Miss Bex.
Oh, I was just like, I can't remember. And then remember, I liked a lot. When, like, Zyle was like, no offense, but bye to Idris.
Mm.
It was very touching.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely got no dwarf. I got no dwarf left behind moments there.
That whole sequence was really well done, Richard.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I like Beck's version of it better. I kind of wish I'd done it that way now. No
Would've been
offense, but deuces, bro.
Yeah, would have been a little less sentimental that way, but I suppose that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really good moment. Anything else, Miss Bex?
No.
Good answer. That is Lava. So that is over to you now.
Yes. Mine's more. I just had fun going from panic attack, or going from joke to panic attack, back to joke.
This Nadar is on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. He is very.
Emotional damage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice getting a little bit of contrast because he's not just pure drunken stupor this episode. There's like some material there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also hasn't had any alcohol today, so he's gonna feel real weird next session.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, that's Zyle. The Zyle goodbye too. That one was good.
Yep. Okay. That is Mr. Ricardo. About yourself.
Few things. Millard's quip where he's like, I was just talking to Nadar and I think we need to get out of here and go somewhere more amenable. And I didn't say amenable to Nadar. I wouldn't use that word with him.
I wouldn't use that word there.
It was the delivery was what made it.
Absolutely.
I also saw you sneakily have to wipe your chin off when you were doing Peter's voice. You were presumably slobbering all over yourself, talking like that.
I'm sorry, talking with the list is really hard.
Yep.
That was a funny little. I'm a little bummed I missed Nadar's dream sequence. Was he first or something?
We covered it a few
no, that was
sessions
last
ago.
week. Yeah, we did it last week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The way you handled like the staring at Zyle,
Mm-hmm.
trying to piece it together, since you had not met Zeke yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a short little sequence, but I liked how you handled that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then as soon as it pivoted back onto Nadar, and like, you had a dream, right? He was like, no, I don't want to talk about now. Talk about something else. Like, that's just all was going in my head. Yeah. That's
Good answer.
And Mathiel, you kind of like I mean, I'd always planned on developing Zyle, like to try and, if it occurred naturally, to pull him out of this sort of the survivor's guilt state of mind. But you kind of forced my hand in a way, and I liked how that ended up playing out.
Right. And
Seemed
like
a good moment.
And in like a outside looking in perspective, I guess, like, didn't remove the cruxes that Zyle is carrying, but at least attempted to let go of one to focus on another. I think that'd be a fair assessment.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
It's the first step.
Right. Painful one at that.
To quote something, Stormal will know what I'm talking about. What's the most important step a man can take? The next one.
Something you might have missed. I don't remember when you came in. Ayla had a dream sequence.
I came in about halfway through it.
Idris was in it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was new for her.
Bex, is there a party going on in your room?
Yeah.
Okay. Like all of a sudden, like there are definitely lights flashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt I didn't like when, because they were on daylight still, when I switched them to warm light, they felt weird, and so then I was trying to figure out a color and I couldn't, and so I just put it on.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And then lastly, SJ, highlight of the night for you.
I like being mean to Peter Parker.
It's gonna come back to bite you. You gotta be careful about being mean to NPCs.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, Nadar thinks he's a real superhero, okay?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
he looks
it's
cool.
a funny joke.
Because he looks cool and he'd made wall climbing sounds.
Yeah. So Nadar thinks he walked away on the wall. You know?
Yeah. I like being able to interact with Idris one-on-one, even though it's like, is she actually interacting with some, like, floating consciousness of Idris, or is it just Idris of her own imagination?
Right.
So, but, you know, she was just looking for, like, I think for her, what she got out of that conversation was just, like, encouragement to continually be there for Zyle. And yeah. So, but, I always like the scenes when someone has to wake Ayla up. And I enjoy that I don't have to, like, make rolls to see if what she does just happens.
On occasion.
On occasion.
Can I just do monk stuff?
Can I just do monk crap, please?
I would have been fine. It's like, Nadar doesn't know what he's doing. He's slapping her.
Yeah, right?
The way he knows people wake him up is like with alcohol or like hitting him. So it's like he's either gonna do one of the two.
Yeah, I don't think he's the one. He's not usually the one who they let wake her up, anyways.
Yeah.
Probably one of the first few times that he's actually woken her up. So. But it's really funny because I feel like, you know, with her saying it's like, you know, did I hurt you? Like, she recognizes the fact that it's hard for people to wake her up, and that she inevitably usually hurts people when they wake her up. So
also, yes, I have no idea whether or not Nadar was actually hurt when you woke him up, because he's still like a little bruised from the night before being slammed against a brick wall.
Right.
Okay. Anything else notable, SJ?
No, I don't think so.
Everyone breaking down.
I really enjoyed listening to Zyle and Zeke's conversation on the bridge. Just seeing Zeke in a different, you know, form, kind of. He's not being aggressive toward us or anything. He's being more harsh upon himself. So
Mhm.
it was interesting to just see him in a different mood.
Mm-hmm. Hardest part of the dream stuff is just taking in like what part is just the character's projection of what they want those people to be, or what's a vision, or navigating through that.
Right.
Yeah. So all of the dream sequences were great between SJJ and Zal. All got to kind of well, I guess in a little bit of Nadar, but in detail, SJJ and Zal had a little more time to develop on the dream sequences that were going on, and all of those were really good in different ways for both pushing certain narrative key pieces forward as well as just getting to kind of hash out stuff like in Zal's sequence, which was really good. I also just really like that visual for some reason. That frozen bridge just looks...
Yeah, that was way cooler. Like, the blood one was cool, but that one was awesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty. It's not good because like it's a very bad situation that he was in, but just the scenery is just kind of like a good contrast of the tragic nature of what's going on. So that was really cool.
Say something about the dreams real quick.
Go for it.
Because if I recall properly, the only ones that were actually like explicitly spoken about by you were Zyle, Millard's, and Ayla's. Nadar's was slightly touched on a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because you sent me everything in a private message.
Correct. Yeah, so
Nadar's
like
more dealing with the after effects of that.
Right. Yeah, he had one. It was just not on screen developed tonight, but he had some stuff that was going on, and you kind of got to see the trickle down effect of whatever he experienced specifically. So yeah, all of those are really good. I think getting to put in some form of positive interaction for all you guys, a la all the people coming by and constantly telling you thank you. And, even on the extreme sense, having the little child run up to Millard and embrace him and then go about is an interesting thing to introduce because you have had zero positivity, really, up until this point. So that's a good contrast to introduce, I think.
Right, but it kind of brings back a normalcy for them in that, that's what they used to do is like go out adventure and actually help people and have the thanks and everything.
Sure.
But
and speaking plainly as a DM, part of my hope was to throw a divisionary topic in there to where the characters have now in between kind of this spot of they've been wanting to just get the heck out of Dodge because everything is awful, and there's like we just need to get out, we need to leave, we don't need to be here, everything's trying to kill us, and it's just one bad step after another. And then you finally get some form of glimpse of the choices you made, whether the end all be all be good from it. At least you got to see a positive impact immediately on it, so it at least gives some form of credence to seeming like your actions were worthwhile. Is the thought behind it all.
I did get that vibe, which is part of the reason I had Nadar go, let's just stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's not participate in this war that's supposedly coming against us. Let's just sit here and just play castle defense. If at worst.
Okay.
But now it doesn't seem like that's not going to happen.
Hard to say.
I know.
And then knowing that, kind of just waiting for the right moment to introduce the Count was fun. And because I knew the second I picked the voice for that, I was like, I'm going to get one sentence out and I'm going to have to pause for probably 10 seconds as people just laugh at me for stupidity, and then wait to
Yep.
continue. Yep. And sure enough,
You all right?
yep.
I don't think you got a sentence out.
I got part
You
of a
got, like,
sentence.
3 words out.
And then we all just like.
We'll watch the clip after this.
Yeah, got part of a sentence out. But yeah, because I knew that was just gonna be a silly, little fun bit that was like nothing of real crazy importance, but it would just be fun just to throw that in. And then, of course, in typical fashion, if I can, just shift the dynamic on its head because it goes from that to some other person talking, and lo and behold, it's the Baron that is now upon all you guys, which if you are not at this point understanding of what that means, I would prepare 2 weeks from now to have some interesting conversations, because that's gonna be a guy that is interesting to deal with, especially since Nadar kind of already insulted him a little bit.
Yeah, no. Nadar doesn't understand that this guy's the Baron. This guy's the actual Baron. Lava does. So as soon as I saw him, like, oh, this guy has like a military force. He's probably like, and he says he's the Baron of this place.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of slipped out. It was your fault. As Nadar's like, I don't want to fight you. Unless you come at me first. And he's just like backing away, kind of hoping to follow Peter Parker and see him as a superhero, considering at 6th level, Nadar can take a climbing speed.
Man.
That's what I got learning about barbarians this week.
A couple of comments that I thought would be worthwhile bringing up. I like, that was a neat comment that AK had said. Having Luthrian save Zeke would be a cool notion. That would be interesting. If that came to fruition. I don't know what that would look like, but it's a cool thought.
Considering that Luthrian's squad got taken out by Zeke, I don't imagine how that would work out.
It would be a very large step of forgiveness.
Yeah.
It would require a lot, for certain. That would not be an easy feat. But that whole situation is going to be complicated because, like, for better or worse, we can compare that to the modern Star Wars sequels of the Kylo Ren situation of people trying to complain whenever at the end of it that he died. And it's like, well, if he lives, think of all the crap he did in the movies leading up to that. You think most of society is going to be okay with that? And Zeke's,
I'm okay with it.
And Zeke's kind of going to be in a similar situation, you could say.
Same argument for Darth Vader.
Right. Like it's
why no one was upset they killed him off at the end of episode 6.
But Zyle's character would be upset about it, so it's going to be like an interesting spot that he's going to be kind of stuck in a quandary of sorts, because it's no simple feat to be ready to kill your brother. So that's have fun with that one, Richard.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I gave you a little too much ammunition to work with.
Just a tad.
It's not over yet, buddy. It's not over yet.
86.
Yep. So, one good question that I saw that will probably be a good one to close to end on, and you can keep letting comments fly if you want to ask more questions. But I think at least Richard and SJ, Miller's gone, but and Lava can do like a short recap of the dream sequences, because AK said he missed some of them. So for the ones tonight, if you guys want to give just a short recap of just what happened within them. Lava, yours was last week and kind of off screen a little bit, but we talked a little bit about it today. So if you just want to tell them at least what we revealed today, just to catch them up to speed.
Yeah. Basically, in Nadar's dream, like the whole dream sequence from fairly early in the campaign where like he sees like his whole family die and whatnot, that plays again. but the hooded figure is revealed to be Zeke. Nadar doesn't understand that it's Zeke, though. It's just a face that looks very similar to Zyle's in his literal eyes.
Right. Okay.
Special eyes.
SJ, you want to recap what Ayla experienced tonight?
Yeah, so basically, Ayla's dream was that she was seeing the events of her father being killed, but not from her original point of view, but from a trying to find the right word.
Perspective?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Perspective point of view?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she sees herself, she sees her father, she sees the whole thing play out. Other than the killer, obviously she doesn't know who the killer was. But then she sees Idris there as well, which is odd because one, Idris doesn't look like what he would have looked like at that time. He looks like what she last knew him as. So she kind of calls out to him and he answers and they talk, and she's trying to figure out if it's like his consciousness has entered her dream or it's just a fragment of her imagination. So she kind of asks him a question that she doesn't really know the answer to, but it's answered in a way where it's something she could have figured it out. So she still doesn't know whether or not it was his consciousness that has entered or just something that her own mind has made up. But he kind of gives her like encouragement, and it's like, yes, you should be there for Zyle. He needs every ounce of encouragement and what are the right words here? Just strength that you can give him.
Support.
So it kind of ends right. So it kind of ends there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then like at the end, he's like taken away. Idris is taken away by black goo, which we've kind of seen before. So that was really odd, and that was it.
And what was the last thing he said? It's a recurring quote.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
He changed the end of it because so far it's always been Idris talking directly to Zyle, which is "Don't let the darkness consume you."
So, right. So don't let the darkness consume him. Yeah.
Yep. Right. Said it to you this time.
One thing I want to point out is that Mark has only seen the darkness once, and that was when Ismark removed it from Millard.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right. And then really the only ones that have everyone but Mark and Nadar got to experience some weirdness at the church, I suppose. But the only ones that have like real insight on the matter would be Zyle and Millard at the moment. But even then, like the insight's kind of a strong term. They have more of an idea of what is happening, but do they understand it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good answer. And then Richard, quick brief recap of what happened in Zyle's dream.
Emotional pain.
Emotional damage.
Zyle saw himself, assuming it was a cloaked version of himself, a future potential version. I'm guessing, Richard, that succumbed to the darkness and allowed it to take it, because it was dripping with more regret than Zyle normally is. He saw his brother standing on a ledge on one side. Across a chasm in the bridge, the crumbling bridge, was Idris being consumed again by the black goo as before. Zyle was blocked by himself. He tried to go to his brother. The other version of him spoke to him a little bit, warned him essentially. He was able to talk to Zeke for a little while, get a little perspective. Talk to him in a non-hostile way, as was mentioned earlier. kind of helped open the door for him to maybe start letting go of his survivor's guilt, which he demonstrated by telling Idris goodbye.
I put the bridge on the screen
again at the end. The Dark Xyle reminded him that Xyle likes to say, even though fate has written it to be this way, Xyle likes to say "screw fate." And I think that'll be a internal driver for him going forward.
Seemed like a very Xyle thing to say,
Mm-hmm.
or a more clean version of what Xyle might say. I suppose.
Yeah.
And AK, I put the bridge on screen in case you missed it, so you can see what he's talking about. Because it's pretty.
It's a bit pretty bridge.
Pretty bridge. I like the moving maps. It's the simple things in life.
That is not simple. That was a lot of work.
It was
Not
very
that I did
simple.
I don't know if a lot of work is a fair... It took some time to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, for the person who actually developed it.
I thought you meant like us getting it to work. I was like, no, this is not
No.
that bad.
Not you. It's
Yep.
simple for us. It's
Yes.
not necessarily simple for the person who actually programmed it.
Potentially, right.
And to them, we say thank you because you make D&D so much more exciting this way.
Correct. And then Millard also had a dream sequence tonight, aka his was very interesting. It was... I'll just pull up the map so you can see that one as well, I suppose.
Cal says, so about the Attack on Titan poster,
No.
if you would like to donate $500 to TOI, we will send you the Attack on Titan poster.
I will do no such thing. That is mine. This is the area where Millard had his dream sequence, and it was very odd in a terrain that's not really been what Miller's been experiencing at all. It was very new for him. But his brother was there, but as he kind of ascended the little pyramid type of structure, there's a lot of black goop, little entities all over the place that were crawling around. He poked some of them with a torch to see some sort of strange interaction to where they didn't like it because they would flee from it, hiss at it, and would kind of even turn into gas if he held the flame on it. But whenever he'd go away, they would form themselves back together and turn right back into the material. So it was not killing them, but they at least didn't like it. And he made his way up to his brother, who was getting covered by the stuff, couldn't really respond, and didn't get a whole lot of interaction from him, but did plead with his brother to try and find a way to help him. And was trying to take the goop off, but the goop was starting to latch on to Millard, and he eventually fell down the stairs into a whole bunch of other goop, and the goop just landed on top of him and started to cover him, and then that's kind of where his dream sequence fades out. So, quite a bit of things tonight.
All the things.
All the small things.
No, just all the things.
All of it.
Very goofy.
Yes, all the goop. But
anyways,
looking forward to whatever will happen 2 weeks from now when you guys get to meet the Baron truly for the first time.
Yes.
That's going to be an interesting interaction.
yeah, I don't know how Ayla's gonna do that.
This is going to be a good test of whether Ayla's going to survive further than the next episode. I think that's the nicest way I can put that. Maybe don't sass that guy.
Right.
If you want to.
I put a Amazon link for you so you can go and buy your own Attack on Titan poster.
There you go. Yep. If you
There's none in stock. I just checked.
Oh,
If
was
you-
it? Oh.
if you want to sass him, I will not stop you, but there will
No, I
not
wasn't
be a
saying
fun
that.
consequence that comes with that.
No, I mean in terms of like the fact that she herself is royalty, and it's like is for her at this point she realizes like her status here doesn't necessarily matter.
True.
But the fact that she could try to portray that side of her for their advantage, but whether or not she would actually do that is another story. Because since she doesn't like that side of herself, but she might just note his arrogance, and so since she technically has a higher title than he does, might want to try and use that, but I don't know how that would go. Either way.
Right. We'll see. It'll be, like I said, it's going to be an interesting turn of events into how things have been going thus far. Dare we say, might even like in the D&D sense, it will kind of turn it into potential the political realm of a certain regard, or at least the navigation of the political realm. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So next week, for any of you who missed the beginning of announcements, we're gonna start wrapping things up for the night because we've already had a good fair amount of talking and we're getting close to the end here. But next week is going to be the special one shot that is covering Bex's character of this campaign, aka Elbreth. And yeah, it's just gonna be fun. We're gonna have 4 different characters. Elbreth is, and Bex is gonna just play all 4 of them. She's gonna pull a Nutty Professor situation to where she's just kind of going around the horn and just doing every last one of them. No.
Sometimes I forget you can read that chat.
Yes, I can see it. I knew Richard would appreciate that. That's technically what Richard was saying in our Discord chat. I was like, yeah, that's a fair. We'll just let her do that. But
Hercules.
Yep, they'll just be. That's one of her characters. That's all it does. The whole episode is just Bex just doing Hercules like this.
Wait. Does Lava understand that reference?
Maybe. Have you seen Nutty Professor?
Yeah, I'm old.
Yep. it's fine.
We're all old.
Anyway, so
I'm just here to make the game more appealing for the younger audience.
I'm older than Chubit and SJ, and I haven't seen it. There's not like a time limit on movies because
Yeah.
I've seen movies from.
But do you understand that reference? Like, you don't have to see the movie to understand the reference.
No, I haven't heard that one before.
Oh, okay.
I haven't either.
I've heard of the movie. I don't know
Richard fixed it. There's a clip in the Discord. So, anyways, next week will be the one shot. It will be Miss Bex, Mr. Richard, Miss SJ, myself, and then it will be DM'd by Mr. Stormer, who will be hopping in for that special one shot. So that'll be a lot of fun. So everybody else will have off the next week, but I'm sure we'll be chilling and chatting, having a good time. So looking forward to that, and we get to go before Barovia and before all this, and get to explore some of Elbreth's backstory of before all this happened. So that's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to doing that, and we're going to hopefully, as long as this goes well, do some of that with the rest of the characters as well, to where we get to really fine point and like hone in on some stuff that they may not have as much time as they would like to cover in the campaign itself, because we got 6 people to spread stuff around. So sometimes it's just nice to have this dedicated time to do some stuff on your own. But that's next week. So episode 35 will not be next week. It'll be the one shot. And then the week following after that, we'll presume back up with episode 35. But we've gone on long enough. I think it was a fantastic night. Great job, everybody, tonight. It was really good, really fun episode. A lot of good stuff with the dream sequences and everything else going around. Looking forward to the one shot next week, and looking forward to episode 35 after that, where we get to meet and catch up with the Baron. But until then, everybody say good night, say goodbye.
Good night.
Well, have a good night. Have a great night.
Bye.
Until next week.